The single most important exercise that you're going to do in your 40s is this exercise right here to stabilize your core and your pelvis to eliminate any problems with your shoulders, neck, hips, and back. So you're going to take a prop. It could be any prop, to be honest. I've got a Pilates ball that's half deflated. You could also use a foam roller, a cushion, and I'm going to put that right close to my pelvis. So not by the knees. I'm going to take it right close to my pelvis. Then I'm going to have my heels, knees at 90 degrees on the chair. And I'm going to imagine that there's a wall right underneath my feet. So my feet are slightly flexed towards me. They're parallel, so make sure one's not facing off in a funky direction. And my knees are at 90 degrees over my hips. Now starting with the core. Now, a lot of times we end up kind of sticking our chest up when we're doing chest press or ab work or floor work or glute bridges. I want you to actually take your rib cage and pull it down and in. And when you do that, you might actually have to try it a couple of times. You'll free any tension around your neck. You'll feel the back bottom ribs connecting with the floor, and you'll feel the upper abdominals engage. And then from here, a tuck in the pelvis so you feel your entire spine connected to the ground. A gentle squeeze between the legs so you're activating inside of the pelvis. You're activating more than the adductors between your legs, but you're activating the adductors within your pelvis. So with the ribs down and in and the pelvis tucked, you start to push your heels into the chair. Now, make sure your arms aren't reaching up. Just relax your shoulders down. No tension in the neck. All tension is through the core. You push your heels into the chair and you scoop the pelvis up ever so slightly, and you hold there for about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Now here's a big part of it, okay? Squeeze your glutes. You're gonna feel this through the hips and the legs. Make sure your glutes are squeezed. So just reset. So ribs down and in, pelvis tucked, hollow your belly, pull the belly button and engage the core, push through the heels. You're going to slowly scoop the tailbone up and squeeze the glutes consciously here. No tension in the neck. You're going to hold here for 5 to 10 seconds, squeezing the glutes, engaging through the core, and then rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. This exercise helps with realigning your spine, keeping your head stacked over ribs, ribs stacked over pelvis. You practice this on the floor and then get out and practice it when you're doing a workout. It also helps with piriformis syndrome and sciatica by properly learning how to stabilize within the pelvis. So again, ribs down and in, pelvis tucks, gentle squeeze of that ball and pushing my heels into the chair. And then I'm going to scoop my pelvis, exhale, lifting up slightly. Now we're not going way up here. It's not a thon. It's not something you're trying to get as high as you can. You just want to engage through the pelvis. Hold for 5 to 10 seconds. Relax neck, relax collarbone, and then slide that down. We'll do one more. So heels pushing into the chair. Then we take our ribs down and in, flexing through the upper portion of our abs. Pelvis tucks, flexing through the lower portion of our abs. Gentle squeeze activating through inside the pelvis. Hollow your belly, squeeze the glutes, push through the heels, scoop and lift up, hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lowering back down. Now, when you're breathing for this one, I want you to breathe into the sides of your ribs. So the sides of your ribs here are where your diaphragm pulls down, and your belly will come out of it naturally. When you exhale, exhale like you're fogging up a mirror. Again, breathe into the ribs, side of the ribs expand. And then exhale. Ribs come down and in, pelvis tucks. You also want to keep this in mind when you're doing a glute bridge. Keeping that ball between your thighs, same concept, ribs down and in, pelvis tucked. 3 points of contact with those feet, lifting and squeezing the glutes. Now you're only coming about halfway up your back. And keep in mind that a glute bridge is not this. That is not a glute bridge. That's what I call a neck bridge. So keep that pelvis tucked. Keep those ribs down and in. Keep the abdominals fully engaged as you scoop up. 3 points of contact with your feet. The focus is on the glutes. Even at the top, you can hollow the belly more, squeeze through your abs more if you can. And it's not about lifting as high as you can. It's about contracting as most efficiently as you can, holding for 5 to 10 seconds, and then rolling the spine down. And then again, I would always encourage you to reset here. Ribs down and in, pelvis tucked. Arms can be up or down for this one. And then pushing through the 3 points of contact in the feet as you squeeze the glutes, you're going to slowly lift your hips up. Holding there for 5 or 10 seconds, or you can even pulse the ball between your legs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then rolling back down. Simple, super effective, and can be done every single day until your back and your hips start feeling better. Thank you for joining me today.
Now, the main takeaway of this video is for you to get used to that sensation of really flexing through your core, engaging properly through your abs, pulling your ribs down and in, and tucking your pelvis while keeping your head in line with your ribs and in line over your pelvis. And once you get used to that sensation, you want to practice it standing up, you want to practice it walking, you want to practice it while you're exercising. So every time you move your body and you start exercising, you're going to have proper postural alignment and proper core activation, which is going to make you less prone to injury, make your body overall healthier so that you can have a better fitness experience.